Hey, good evening, beautiful people. It's yours truly, Tammy B, coming to you with another session of Real Talk with Tammy B and Company, the show where we are recording live so that you amazing people can engage in our conversation via the YouTube chat. So if you are watching via another platform, and want to be part of the conversation, if you jump on over to YouTube at That's a Woman, I will be able to pull you in. And if you are on YouTube, please, sir, please, ma'am, feel free to interact with us, drop us questions and or comments. I will share as many with the panel as I possibly can. And also, before we get started, I want to ask if you are not part of our community to please consider supporting us by joining, as we are here weekly at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with new content. Excuse me, y'all. And also, if you enjoy our conversation, I do ask to also support us by clicking the like button and or sharing this with others. And to the men, yes, to the men, mark your calendar. The time is approaching. We are literally a month away from the Pause, Breathe, Bro You Matter Transformational Conference taking place in the ATL on Saturday, August 1st from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And listen, if you want to view this virtually, there are virtual tickets available also, but there are limited seatings on the virtual. So go to Eventbrite and purchase your ticket. Now, here's the caveat: in order to be in the building, you have to be a man. But if you're a woman, you can watch it virtually, because I feel women need to hear what the men have to say and what comes out of this as well, because this is healing work for us all. But for the men, this is for you in particular. All right. Because you guys matter and we love you so much. All right. And so, if you're also interested in supporting by being a vendor or a sponsor, you can email me at thassawoman, thassawoman @gmail.com. And as always, I am always grateful for you amazing people being here with us this evening. And I want to say good evening to Miss Ramona, who has shouted us out in the chat. Miss Ramona Smith, good evening, Queen. Thank you so much for being here with us. And so I also have with me a full house, and I'm excited about this conversation. Woo! I have my girl, Dr. Maya Harold, who is our advocate in the domestic violence space. Good evening, Dr. Maya.
Hello. How you guys doing this evening?
We are
Just
super
fine.
amazing, beautiful. How are
Thank you.
you?
Thank you. I feel great today. Feel great. Excited about this topic. Ready to start.
Oh, girl, yes, we
Yes.
are. We gonna dig in. I'm ready. Mr. Van Dorn has already given us a shots warning signal. Like when them shots start firing, y'all better have y'all bulletproof vests on, because they coming. But look, we ready.
We
We
ready. We
ready.
ready.
And so, to God's girl for life, good evening, Queen. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. And so, guys, this is the first Wednesday of the month. And what happens on the first Wednesday? We have Wisdom Wednesday. So, and we have both of the queens here with us tonight. Good evening, Miss Penelope.
Good evening.
How you doing,
I'm
Queen?
doing just fine.
Good. It's good to see you. Good to see you. What the folks say, I feel like I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. So
Yeah, I
welcome,
know.
welcome. And then we have the reigning queen, the queen who we gonna always depend on for these talks, is Queen Sylvia. Stand back. Good evening, abuela.
Peace and blessings, everyone. Good evening.
Peace and
Right.
blessings to you. Thank you so much for being here. How you this evening?
Awesome.
Awesome. Look, I thought she was gonna say fantabulous. But that's along the same lines. So and yes, and then we have the King of Wisdom Wednesday, Mr. Van Dorn Hennett. Good evening, Mr. Van Dorn, and how are you?
I'm well, thank you. Happy to be here. Thank
We
you
are
for the
so
invitation.
Thank you. We are so happy to have you guys. We're so happy. And so, look, we are so ready to jump in, but I do want to go ahead and shout out those born in the month of July. So, happy birthday to all the July babies, the Cancer babies. Oh, Miss P, your birthday in July? What
Tomorrow.
day?
Tomorrow.
Happy
Tomorrow.
birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. And you share a birthday with one of my aunts. Oh my gosh. So it's so easy to remember your birthday. Any B-Day plans?
No. No,
I
I don't
think you
have any
two can think of
plans.
something to get into. Get
Uh,
your Thelma to your Louise and y'all find something to get into out there.
I'm sure we will.
I love it. And Ramona Smith says, "Happy birthday, Queen." Oh my goodness,
Thank
I love it.
you. Thank you.
Cancer, I love it. Cancers are. I have a connection with cancers. That's one zodiac. I can say I have a lot of friends in that particular zodiac. So, but happy birthday, enjoy your time. And so I also want to take a moment. I don't know if you guys heard about the earthquake in Venezuela. So we want to send prayers and positive energy for the loss of people and the missing people over there, because I think last time I checked the number was like somewhere around 1700 people that lost their lives. So we definitely want to send our prayers and condolences to them. And then also, there's a couple in Florida that's a very, very, very dear friend of mine, the Robinsons, and they just lost their son last Friday, who just graduated from college back in May. So we send prayers and love and condolences to them as well. So may Michael rest in peace. And so our mental health tip of the day is to set healthy digital boundaries by taking an intentional tech free break. Replace 15 minutes of scrolling or screen time with a quick walk outside, deep breathing, a mindful check-in. Disconnecting helps reduce information fatigue and grounds you in the present moment. And right now, guys, especially with this conversation we getting ready to have, you need to be grounded. You need to be grounded. All right. Yes, thank you. We are praying, Miss Ramona, for the families. Okay, so y'all know one of the question that I have ongoing for Wisdom Wednesday: is there a gem or a nugget that you guys have on your heart to share with the people tonight? What's a gem or a nugget? And it don't have to be topic related, just life, because this is Wisdom Wednesday, and I just feel we like to drop gems on the people. So if there's any, is there anything on any of your hearts to share with the people tonight?
Let me see what I wrote today. I write every day.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's what I wrote. The last thing that I wrote was, through my life experience, I am seasoned with the reason to love.
Ooh, I like
That's
that.
good.
Through my life experience, I am.
I am seasoned with the reason to love.
Season.
Yes,
Reason to love.
that's a good one. I
Season.
like that.
Mhm.
Anybody else?
Mhm. I heard something today that really struck me
Okay.
simply because of where I am in my journey right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the young lady said, when you are asking for something from the universe,
Mm-hmm.
know that you are the one who is giving it to yourself.
Mm.
And that
Mm.
really struck a chord with me. So for me, and maybe for other people, for me, it meant I must allow myself to give to myself. And she said that really speeds up the process. So that's what I wanted to share.
Oh, that is good. So there's this, y'all know I'm off the rail, right? You know, so there's this lady that I listen to. In fact, it's almost time for the monthly Zach chat, and she channels this guy named this collective by the name of Zach. And in May, the advice that Zach gave was to place your hand over your heart and just say 3 times, I allow myself to receive my heart's desire. I allow
Mhm.
myself to receive my heart's desire. I allow myself to receive my heart's desire. Because a lot of times we're so focused on setting the intention, believing for the intention, but we don't allow it in. So when you talking about the giving to yourself, the God in you, that's what it was saying. So I love that. That was definitely a nugget that we need to
Mhm.
walk away with. Miss Sylvia, Dr. Maya.
I guess I would just say, don't live in fear. Trust yourself. Don't live in fear.
Don't live
Live
in.
each day as if it was your last.
That's
That's mine
good.
that I say every day for myself. So,
I love it.
yeah.
That's it. That's it. But that's true. And even to that point, like um I had a conversation with the young, I don't know if Miss Sylvia or Miss any of you guys got a chance to see the young lady that was on last week that talked about her NDE, her near death experience. And she and I kind of talked afterwards because I was telling her about some things that I was dealing with. To come to find out, deep in my subconscious mind, I kind of have fear programming in the running in the background. So
Mhm.
she was giving me some tools um to overcome that. So is you're absolutely right. Fear has no power. And it's not that I don't know things are going to come work out, but then when you find yourself in these certain situations in this crunch, it easily can creep in there. So that was good. Thank you, Dr. Maya.
You're welcome.
Miss Sylvia, anything from you?
Yeah, you know what? I was supposed to text Monye to come on, but I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop to do that.
I, I
Yeah.
sent her I sent her the email after Tammy sent me the link. I sent Monier the email. So
Okay.
I
Oh,
don't,
okay.
yeah, right. That's, I mean, I didn't do anything other than send the email for the hyperlink so that she could get on.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well,
Okay. But go ahead,
with
Miss Sylvia.
what we were saying, what I heard you all say today, and nothing is coincidental. Everything is the way it's supposed to be, cause and effect. Um, I had a conversation today, and we were talking about fear. And this young lady is getting ready to go to Africa. And I was saying to her, uh, don't have any vibration, any fear vibration, because you draw to yourself what you are. So if you're fearful, you're going to draw that fear to yourself.
Mhm.
And we had a long conversation about the importance of us being the gods and goddesses. Well, you don't have to worry about anything if you're the god or you're the goddess. You know you got your back. So what is there to fear?
Mhm.
You're going to always have your back.
Mhm.
Look at this.
I agree.
I love
Yes.
this. See, this is why I asked the
Mhm.
question. That's good. This
I
is
agree.
good.
I
Yes,
think
yes.
most of us fear we fear the unknown, or they fear the unknown, and not having control to know what that next is gonna be, and it causes them to have fear instead of just trusting the process.
That's it. We need
Mm-hmm.
to trust the process. We
Mm-hmm.
need to trust the process. Oh my God, this is already good. Um, Miss Ramona Smith said, hold on to Jesus no matter what you are going through. Amen. Amen. Okay, so for me, my response to this would be, with the chaos that's going on in the world, I feel it's time for people to wake up to the illusion of the matrix that we are in. Time to get back to the essence of God, which is who we are, which is pure unconditional love for oneself and for others. It's time for folks to know that we chose to come here to this playground called Earth and to experience this life. So no matter what level of difficulty, it's all about growth and expansion. And so in that knowing, we stop giving our power away to those external forces. We command our power back, so we can live intentionally as the creators that we are. Because everything that you guys just said it ties into that, because fear keeps us from creating. And far too long, we're not supposed to be in the reactive state. We're supposed to be in the trusting state, the creative state, so in the faith state. So this is very, very good. So thank you guys for the feedback. Mr. Van Dorn, were you about to say something?
No, I can wait. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I mean, I could, I could go on with everything that you all bring up. I could talk about it, but let's keep rolling, please. Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Y'all know I always have a video. It's a short one, and I think you guys are really gonna like this because it's gonna really resonate. So let me put this up, and then we can go ahead and dive into this talk because I'm ready for it. All right, here we go.
Ho'oponopono and the Four Agreements are Nephilim override code, a key to break the archons and to shut down the Nephilim protocol running on you right now. Let me show you how it all works. There are two forces that have been fighting for your mind since before the flood. The archons, they're the manipulators, the rulers who keep you small, asleep, and afraid. They run a program in the background on your mind that you will never see, and that's the Nephilim protocol. And then there's the Watchers. They are an angelic force, the ones who came down to help, the ones who carry the way out. The archons built the cage, the Watchers slipped you the key. The key is the four phrases. The Nephilim protocol binds you four ways. It turns your own word against you, the voice in your own head that condemns you. Every resentment you hold is a chain to someone. It feeds you a story, the mind inventing reasons for your pain, and it weaponizes your desire. There are four hooks. That is how you stay small. There's an Aramaic word for that, which is a diminished state called Zura, or the preyed upon. Now here's the override. It's four simple phrases. I'm sorry. You take the word back from accusation to ownership. Please forgive me. Aramaic is shubquan. It does not mean to pardon. The root word means release. You cut the cord. The third one is thank you. You end the story. You take what is as given. And I love you. Kuba, the force that holds creation together. You aim desire back at source. And these are four hooks to bind and four phrases to break you free. The Toltec found the same four doors. Be impeccable with your word. Take nothing personally. Make no assumptions. Always do your best. The word, the release, the end of the story, and the return to love. Two traditions, oceans apart, no contact between them, the same key. So the next time the Nephilim protocol fires, the resentment, the old loop, you don't fight it. You just run the system. It's the Four Agreements or Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. And I love you. And when you do this, the archonic force and the Nephilim lose their grip. Thank you. And I love you. Ho'oponopono.
Okay. What happened to me a number of years ago, can't tell you how many years ago, I took and combined what this man is talking about. I combined the essence of Ho'oponopono with the essence of what Dr. Hugh Lin, not Dr. Hugh Lin, but Dr. Emoto gave us. So these 7 statements beginning at the bottom: I apologize, please forgive me. I love you, I appreciate you, I respect you, I thank you now. That's a modern version of what was just presented. And this is the version for today and for the future. And so you can, those who are watching, you can take a screenshot of this. Those are the 7 statements. And I'll say that they were given to me through my ancestral lineage, and they're yours for the utilization. It's a key or a ticket out of mental slavery. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So
Good stuff. I knew that one would resonate. So, and that takes us into our conversation tonight. So, Queen Sylvia, take it away.
Okay. Well, we're going to do the usual process. Um, the conversation tonight is coming from David Icke's book, The Trap, and I chose chapter 4 because it'll be familiar once we get into it, the things that have occurred to us within recent years. So what I'm going to do, he uses a couple of terms, and I want to give the definition of those terms first. And one of the terms, he uses the term occult, and that's just hidden knowledge. The other term is cult, which is a small group of people having beliefs or practices, especially relating to religion, that are regarded by others as strange or sinister. And the other term he uses is dystopia. Have you ever heard that? Dystopia?
No, not familiar.
He uses that all the time. And dystopia is just the opposite of utopia. And so dystopia is an imaginary, futuristic, or alternative society that is a nightmare, that is oppressive, that involves extreme control, surveillance, loss of individual freedom. That is dystopia. Sound familiar?
Mm-hmm. Very.
Okay. So then I want to read this quote. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. The eye sees only what the mind is prepared to comprehend. Anybody want to interpret that by Robertson Davis?
Mhm.
For me, and I don't know what anybody else's definition meant, but the first thing that came to me was this, and this is how I see it because this is how I've lived it. Until I am ready to see my reality, it can be presented to me many times in many ways. But if I'm not ready to see it, then I don't see it. I don't understand what I'm seeing. And sometimes that's because I don't want to understand at the time,
Hmm.
As you were saying
or
that,
I
Miss
don't want
VA,
to
I was thinking,
see it.
and as you were saying that, I was thinking, what's that saying? The the teacher will show up when the student is ready, because
Mhm.
that's what that sounds like to me. Because it's not gonna, you only gonna go as far as your beliefs are, as far as you're thinking. So if you only think you, in fact, I was just having a conversation with a talk that I was on last night, and it's almost like putting a shark in a fishbowl. That shark, that baby shark, is only gonna go as far as that bowl is. But if you put it in the ocean, of course, it'll reach full size and capacity. That's my thought. Dr. Maya, Mr. Van Dorn.
Well, this is going to surface again and again tonight, the concept that we call programming. So when I was a kid, a young teenager, I read a book titled Subliminal Seduction. I've spoken about this before on this program. And that answers the question, how is it that we can be in a society where hypnosis rules the day? Okay. Subliminal seduction is a technique that is used by manipulators. And so when we talk about government, we can say that we're talking about a clan of manipulators. The notion of governance for the people, by the people, is a hoax, okay? Has been for a long time. And those that don't know that, I'm going to say something rather crass right now, and that is, I'm sorry for you. And I'm sorry for us, actually, as a collective. Uh, if we don't wake up as individuals in this dream, we are doomed to outcomes that our hearts do not desire. So anyway, I mean, I could go out, get off on a tangent right now, but I'm not. But there's something that's happening this very time that is hidden from the general public by these crafty manipulators who own the media. And I know, Sister Sylvia, that our man David Icke touches on this every chance he has to speak. We have a crisis. We have a crisis that we're living in right now, which involves our neighbors from space and these crafty manipulators who have figured out how to reverse engineer their technology and to tell the general public a bunch of lies about the intent of our visitors from other planets. And so the crisis that we're in is a crisis of conscience. Okay, there are people that are being asked to come forward who have been working in these secret space programs to tell the truth so that the truth can be placed on the table before the general public, and we can stop having the masses manipulated by fear tactics that are used in psyop programs where people believe what the minister says in the pulpit or what the politician says. uh, those good people are on a payroll that I would not be willing to accept, if you understand what I mean by that. In other words, don't put me on the payroll, because I'm not here to tell lies or to try to manipulate human condition or human consciousness. So anyway, this particular person that I'm alluding to, Stephen Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer, he's a brilliant mind and a most courageous soul. He he produced a movie a few years ago called The Lost Century. Everybody owes it to themselves to see this film titled The Lost Century. And if your mind is free and unencumbered from the traps, the booby traps of mass manipulation and mass hypnosis, you'll be able to see how valuable his story is to us as a collective. Okay, so I'll stop there. Thank you for asking me to speak.
Okay. In order for us to be prepared, we must first understand what is going on in the world we live in. If your mind has not been educated properly, the eyes will assume that what they see is a reality.
Mhm.
And that's just an introduction from the chapter. And I'm going to go into some of the excerpts from that chapter for us to discuss. The first one, and I'm just going to read that. Life is eternal, forever, and there is no death like the Christian doctrine perpetuates to instill fear. And they use, for instance, in the Bible, we'll give you 70, and that's the end. That concept. Okay. Phenomenal physicality. I can't, this is impossible, becomes our mantra when we don't know who we really are. Programming of the mind so it can only see color and race. So our minds have been, the majority have been programmed through media and these entities, so we only see color and race, which is no such thing. Any comments?
Yeah, we're
Okay,
talking
I'm
about
going.
once again, we're talking about institutional programming. And so the masses are
Yes.
programmed, herded towards an abyss of ignorance where they believe what they've been told because they've not spent quality time in silence and stillness. Spending time, quality time in silence and stillness. There's no way around being able to hear your higher self or your soul speak to you, or your God self, if I may. All of those are the same, one and the same. Okay.
And you can't be in silence if your lover has to be in your hand 24/7. And that's deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
That's deliberate. They created that instrument
Yeah.
to keep you constantly, the mind is constantly overloaded. So you cannot listen to intuition. the God that is within you. So watch that lover. Okay. Use of false and fractured self-identity, using human labels to separate society, such as race, culture, sex, income bracket, class, politics. The I should see themselves in others, not color and all of these things. Because to me, it points to that concept, we're one.
Yeah, that's
We're
the law
one.
of
I
divine
am not
oneness. Go ahead.
I am not my color. I am not this avatar that I walk in. That is not who I am. That's not who you are. These labels are transitory happenings that we believe to be things like I'm a Democrat, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim. These labels are not us. And this is David Icke talking here, not me. These labels are not us. They are just experiences in our individual journey here on earth. David's purpose in his book, The Trap, is to uncover the true nature of the world that we see and to go deeper into the world that we don't see, the matrix, which holds us in servitude. A few hidden truths. It says, a chosen few hide truth using. And let me say that again. There are certain things that hide the truth in the society that we live in. Number one, education. That's the main brainwash system. Number two, big time, the media. I guess I listed education first because we start there in kindergarten. They start the brainwash in kindergarten, before you get into media. Then media, network of societies, that is global cults. These cults control all media worldwide. Okay. Another way they get rid of truth, mainstream science and medicine. Perception dictates behavior and experience. That's a good one. What is perception? Experience and collective behavior. Perception made manifest. Control perception and you control the world.
Because it's reality. There's a saying, perception is reality. And that does become some people's reality if they're not awake. But carry on.
When you control a person's perception, you control their reality. They're not in control of their own reality. Okay? So control the way people think and they do what you tell them to do. They become robots. You control perception by programming the mind to perceive reality as you desire. The news tells the people what to believe. That's why I never listen to the news. I haven't listened to the news since I was in my 40s. Okay. The news tells the people what to believe and therefore controls their actions. The media is controlled by secret societies or cults. The media uses repetition like we use mantras or affirmations. Okay, because some people have to have the news on every day and they'll say, you don't watch the news, then you don't know what's going on. I said, and you don't know what's going on either if you are entrenched in the news. Yeah, Brother Van.
So one of the words that I'd like to use right now is the word implant. Okay, if you talk about human physiology, we know that there are such things as implants, and I'm not talking about the strange side of implants. I'm talking about like a pacemaker or what have you. That's an implant. Okay, so what happens is in the subconscious mind, there are these programs that are running that are implants. There is It's there for the purpose of manipulating humans who don't even recognize that they have a subconscious strata in their psyche. Okay, so we talk about intuition. What is the role of intuition? How does intuition work? Uh, there's a sound in the background. Does someone know what that sound is? It sounds like a fan or
I
something.
had Miss P. We getting feedback from you, so I muted you until you were able to talk. Some kind of way you came off mute. I'm gonna mute you back.
Okay. Yes.
Mhm.
So anyway, the subconscious mind has implants in it that have to be cleared. And there are ways of doing that. One of the ways of doing it is to decalcify the pituitary gland, pineal gland. And so, how do you do that? Well, there are methods. You can go online and find a number of methods of ways to decalcify your pineal gland, your pituitary gland. Um, when that decalcification takes place, then a person can actually have a greater access and easier access to their higher self or to their God self, whichever term you want to use. So what we're dealing with is a system that uses science to control and manipulate the masses. Just like some of you have heard that when the certain hertz were changed from, and I don't remember the numbers, but we had a very naturally occurring uh, frequency that we were using in music until a certain group, certain society decided that we will uh, neutralize this harmonious uh, pattern of sounds, and we will create something that sounds okay, but there's something uh, psycho-spiritually disruptive in this new band of frequencies that have been broadcast now. Uh, Most music is created with this distortion. I'll use that term, this distortion of a more natural band of frequencies that end up being musical notation or what have you. But I can't speak technically on that because I don't have the language. But some of you all have heard the stories before. Yes. Please, Sister Sylvia, continue. Yes.
Well, let me read this comment from when you were talking earlier about distractions. God's Girl for Life said, yep, they created distractions to keep you from hearing your inner self. And that is absolutely true. And then even just talking about like that's what that video that I was showing. He was showing how these programmings are taking place and what you're when you're bringing in media, that's all it's doing is programming you with fear. And if they can keep that going, that becomes your dominant thought. And this is where everything you're saying, the declassification of the pineal gland and spending time with your inner self, spending time in quiet. People don't understand there is value there that can help change the trajectory of your life. But go ahead, Miss Sylvia.
Yeah. And before you go, Miss
Visual
Sylvia,
perception.
I was going to say social media has it bad, and it's with infants all the way to people in their 80s. We are addicted to social media now,
Yeah.
and it controls us to a certain degree. A lot
And
of
that's
us.
by design.
It's
That's
by
by
design.
design. Because
Absolutely.
if you can keep people focused on
Focus.
their phone, focus on
Hmm.
everything else. All you got to do, like on TikTok, for example, if you somebody will send me a link to one video, but I'll have to click on, click out, click on just to see what they actually sent. And by the
Hmm.
time you finish watching that, another one is
You're
popping
going
up.
to keep
And
going.
that's how people get caught up in the rabbit hole.
Hmm.
And then they've now got Facebook doing the same thing. So
Hmm.
yeah, that this is all by design, and this is what we got to wake up. Like I said earlier, wake up in the matrix. We got to
Yep.
wake up to this. It's an illusion, it's a distraction, but good stuff that's coming forth. So go ahead, Miss Sylvia.
And most people can, like back in the day, we used to say rap. Most people can comment on the mind traps and the distractions, but they can't put down that phone.
Hmm.
I want to
Mhm.
say visual perception is dictated by the mind. The mind has to be trained and educated. And this is just a comment I made. The recent Walk for Peace monks
Mhm.
taught that the mind must be trained to do one thing at a time and to maintain what they term mindfulness. We must constantly observe the mind by staying present at all times. This takes a lifetime of practice. Now, if it takes a lifetime of practice and then you add in the lover or the cell phone, I guess you have to transition and come back. That's just my comment.
But you know what? To add to that, the men, I think it came up in the conversation last week, and I know it came up when Representative Jackson was on, because they were. It's like it's been over glamorized to multitask. But at the end, but what you're saying is very pivotal. We need to be present in the moment, because what people don't understand, you're creating what you're thinking, how you're acting in the operating in this now moment is creating your future. And so being that people are not present because they're all over the place, and then they're wondering why their reality is continuously chaotic. They're creating from chaos because they're not choosing to be present in the moment. Carry on.
Let,
Go
let,
ahead,
let, let
Dr.
me let me interject something really crucial here. That old statement, "You are what you eat," everything that you take in through sensory perception is a meal. Okay, so if you're constantly uh, eating, if the input is programming, then the output is going to be the result of the programming. There's a one-to-one correlation. So what you see people acting out in the world, uh, and I use that word intentionally, acting out in the world, it's programming. So there's a reset button on this game called life, and I'm not here to say I know how it's going to play out, but each one of us have the capacity to hit the reset button. And we're not in isolation. When we hit that reset button, we are actually intimately connected to every breathing soul on the planet. So if we take that to heart, that means we have a tremendous amount of power that we're not necessarily choosing to be conscious of. Uh, our actions are not limited to the space that we're in. Our actions are not limited at all. Our actions are trans-temporal and trans-dimensional. So if the audience will take that to heart, you are the power. I've said this before. And that's what you have to know. You have to know that intimately. How do you become the power? Spend time in silence and stillness. You will reclaim your divinity. You won't get it anywhere else. It is not going to be handed to you. So it's time for you to, uh, I'm going to say man up, but man up, woman up, however you want to look at it. You have to negate that program that is constantly you're constantly being bombarded by through social media and other methods. The news, uh, those platforms they're nothing more than programming. Okay, and it's not programming towards the benefit of humankind. It's programming towards the benefit of a select few psychopaths or megalomaniacs. And I'm not hating on them, but I'm saying I'm calling it what it is. Okay.
Good stuff. Before Miss Sylvia take off again, good evening, a soldier's dream. She said, if you allow the system to feed you, then you allow the system to starve you. This applies to everything: government assistance, religion, your reality, etc. And I concur. I concur. Yes, ma'am. All right, Miss Sylvia.
The human world as you perceive it exists in our minds and nowhere else. Therefore, our belief must change to reflect a different world. When our thinking changes, the world's thinking changes, because that's what Van Dorn just said. We are one frequency vibrating the whole.
Yes.
And when you say we are one, that's an important concept.
Well,
That
go
is the
ahead and
most.
One
call it out.
frequency.
The law of divine oneness. That's it. We are all one. Even going back to what you said earlier about the different races, people got to understand getting into these race wars is irrelevant, because at the end of the day, and especially when you know about past life, it's very well you could have been that race that you hated on and stuff and back and forth. So we're all one. We're all a part of God, the creator, the source energy. Go ahead, Mr. Van Dorn.
Oh no,
The
no,
one
please.
thing I want to say here, though, is when I say we are one and others say we are one, we're talking about one frequency because we're all energy.
Yes.
And that energy is going to go out into the magnetic field,
Mm-hmm.
and therefore one is controlling the all. I'm talking frequency,
Okay.
vibration. Yeah. Go ahead, Van.
Well, you know,
Did you?
Rupert Sheldrake calls it the morphogenetic field. Everybody has a name for it, but it doesn't matter what you name it. The simple fact is that what you stated is a reality. We are vibrational beings. We're vibrating at whatever frequency that we're vibrating at, and we don't exist as an island. We exist in a field that responds
That's
to
right.
the vibrations, to the thoughts, to the feelings. And so our task, if I may, is to realize that or remember that, better yet. And remember means put it back together. Remember, to put back together. Guys, there was another term that I wanted to speak on, but I lost it now. Okay, let's keep rolling. Thank you.
The cult knows this, while the target is the foundation of how the few control the many and always have. The cult knows all of this science we're talking here.
Yes.
The target is not primarily the body, it's your mind, because the mind is what controls the body. And this is just a comment. All of the information that I just gave you from David Icke is why isolation was so important during COVID. You get it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it.
Isolation kept people from the knowledge they needed to know from informed scientists concerning how a virus really works. It also shut down public meetings where conscious people could inform unconscious people. And a special note, a scientific note, a virus cannot be floating around in open air. It must have a carrier. So we found people sitting in their cars by themselves with a mask on because their minds had already been programmed by the media.
I mean to laugh, but
And
that's
then
something.
another definition of a host: a human acts as a host for viruses or bacteria. A plant can be a host for nitrogen fixing bacteria. A flea, a parasite, lives on a dog. The dog is the host. A virus cannot be floating around in the air. It must have a host. Is it okay? It says a virus must have a host in order to be effective. A host is a person, place, or thing needed to operate in. A virus cannot operate in open air. It must have a host. What was the host for COVID? What was the host for COVID? Question mark.
The
Answer the
people.
question.
Hold on, Miss P. Go ahead.
The vaccine.
Thank you.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, because you
Thank
know what,
you.
I'm still teed off about that, because I was working remotely from home and my job made me take that vaccine, and it's just like why do I?
Nothing. Oh, hold it. Hold it. You are the God of your reality. You are the God. We are the gods and goddesses, not a job. They
Okay, Abuela, this was before my awakening, So
Yeah,
that's
but,
how
the only reason I had to inject that is for my audience, and just I had to say that for other people. I understand that, and a lot of times, a lot of the things that we'll be talking about here, other people may catch it maybe 2 years from now. But the
yes.
bottom line is they're going to get it. They're going to get it.
Right. So to kowtow to power is to say, I am unworthy of my power. And that unworthiness has been planted in the subconscious minds of the masses, okay? The unworthiness of actually standing in one's power, owning one's power, living one's truth. We came here to love and to be loved. And that's not the easiest path. The easier path would be perhaps the opposite, but it's a dead end road. But then again, we have this thing called the wheel of a Wagawan, which is also called the wheel of birth and death and what have you. And so has been given free will to do whatever it wishes. There are consequences, this action versus that action. So you're either going to be service to self or service to other. And it really doesn't matter which one you choose, because in the final analysis, it's on you, the individual. You choose to be service to self, you'll find that that's a dead end road. You choose to be service to other, you'll realize that that's a road to liberation, to spiritual liberation. And that's the journey of soul in a few words, in maybe 3 sentences. Now, I might be talking over somebody's head tonight, but I will ask you to do what, and I tried to warn myself not to go here tonight, but there's a beautiful phrase from some music from the past. And I'm going to say, anyone in the audience that's choosing to be offended by what I'm about to say, and the phrase is free your mind. And I'm going to paraphrase it and say, the rest of you will follow, the kingdom of heaven is within. Okay. Now, how do you free your mind? First, you have to answer the question, am I deserving? And if one can say, I deserve to live in my power. I deserve to be free and unencumbered. I deserve to be something other than a slave, that mental slavery that Bob Marley talked about. The freedom is our choice. Our freedom is our choice. When we choose to not own our power, that's when we enter into a subservience that can last for a millennia. Okay? So the path to freedom requires courage and a valiant spirit. And I'm going to stop there, please. I could rant right now, but
I just want to say, in case they try to come up again with a similar episode like COVID-19, the one thing I told my friends one friend said, they're going to fire me, I'm a nurse, if I don't take that shot. So I found out that every state in the United States has an exemption for shots.
Yes.
And if you download that exemption, I copied it for her, take it into your employer, they can get sued if they fire you, because every state has an exemption from that. And I just want to, in case they do that again, there's a legal document. Every state has an exemption. If you took the shot, there are certain herbs that, how many of you heard Dr. Yaki Awakened? Dr. Yaki Awakened. Look it up. Kahi Awakened. Dr. Yaki Awakened. If you look up .org, if you look him up, your body can be cleansed. And there's another naturopathic doctor. His Penelope probably knows his last name. His name is Kareem. If you just put Kareem, naturopathic, there are things that can clean the body up of all these things. The leaves on the trees for the healing of the nation. So we're protected all around. But just remember that exemption, because they're going to probably try some stuff like that again.
Mhm.
And also remember that there are certain things that can cleanse the body. That's
Yeah,
off the record. That's not there.
I've noticed that people are wearing masks again, some people.
Some never stop.
And yeah, when I first went to work where I am, I met this man, and this is the truth. That was in 2022. I never saw his face until last month. That's how long he's had on this mask. But
Mhm.
anyway, taking the shot is a mandate, not a law.
And COVID
Mm.
never went anywhere. It's still in a crisis. The government just don't speak about it like they did in 2020.
Yeah, they do. The government has put it in writing and documented, and they've been in Congress for telling a lie about it. It's been in Congress.
In
Yeah.
hospitals,
So
it's still a
they
pandemic in
admitted
hospitals.
they had to admit that they lied.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back to the psychology of government, David. Okay. Our educational system was founded by John D. Rockefeller, and he said, check this out. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers.
Hmm.
I don't want to, because we don't do no research. We got that computer right here with all the information that I just gave out is on that computer. We don't do that. We just go to social media or hello, goodbye. But we don't think. And that's why they took the arts out of public school system, the creative arts. They took the courses on critical thinking. They took all of that out of the public school system because this cult doesn't want a nation of thinkers. They want a nation of workers.
Hmm.
Before the public school was founded, children were reading above fourth grade level. That's before the school system. And were thinking critically. This would make a nation uncontrollable. So John chose the solution of programming via the public school system and making it mandatory. It was mandatory that you go to school so they could brainwash you.
Mhm.
Absolutely. And in fact, one time it was so mandatory that if kids were missing days from school, at least I'm going to speak for Georgia, they were threatening to put the parents in jail.
They would lock them up.
Yeah, that's how mandatory it was. But even to the point of what you're talking about, Think and Grow Rich writer Napoleon Hill, he has a book, Outwitting the Devil. I mentioned it on here before. And that's one of the things that he talked about, where he has the control over the people, the school, the government, and I hate to say it, y'all, I didn't say it, it's in the book, the church.
Mhm.
So if y'all want to get more information on that, Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. Go ahead, Mr. Van Dorn.
No, but and then there's another brilliant mind, Buckminster Fuller. Buckminster Fuller wrote a book that was less than 100 pages. It's titled The Grunch of Giants. If you read The Grunch of Giants, which is a very, 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 very short read, you will say, wow, we had somebody thinking like that who was actually a free mind. Uh, yeah, Buckminster Fuller, he's known for other things, but I consider his most important work to be a short book titled A Grunch of Giants. Grunch of Giants.
Okay.
Yeah, he tells it. He tells it like it is. He talks about how power hungry individuals behave in the world. That's the short of it. Yeah, and that's what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about power hungry individuals. That statement about power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. I am revisiting a body of work that I thought that I read 30, 40 years ago. And in the process of revisiting these books, 6 books by Frank Herbert, it's been popularized now by the term doom. But if you read the books, you'll see just how brilliant Frank Herbert is. But there's a sisterhood that has had in the storyline. There's a sisterhood called the Ben Gesserit, and their mission is to protect humankind, protect humankind's future by any means necessary. And I'm going to say no more about that. But it talks about the notion of the power hungry who become these oligarchs, or I'll say madmen, mad women, if you want to use both terms, and they don't know any different because they don't have a noble spirit, and without a noble spirit, you can't do right by humankind. And having a noble spirit actually means communing with the silence and the stillness. You cannot commune in silence and stillness, or with the silence and stillness, and not have a noble spirit, because that's where God lives, in the silence and in the stillness. Okay, and I'll take this an extension further than that. God lives in the imagination of humankind, or the world for that matter. And so humans are not the only ones with an imagination. Some really gross lies have been told about the other species. Hello, Shelley. Great to be here. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know. Shelley had something to share with us before on this subject. We have the peacock. There's this brilliant piece that's written about the peacock that I just read within the last 2 weeks. Absolutely brilliant. And what I discovered is that the peacock, its feathers are not the color that you see. It's the geometry that is manipulated by consciousness that has us believing that we're seeing these beautiful colors. But if you were to take the peacock's feathers and simply put them in a bowl and grind them up, you would only have the color brown. We're talking about melanin. There's a science to melanin that is not known by the masses, not even by people who do melanin research. And this science is the octopus. The octopus and the peacock, we both know something about how the octopus can change its colors to match any of its surroundings. That's some intelligence that humans don't have. Hello? And humans think that they're, this supreme intelligence. That's malarkey, Yeah, boy. Okay, so please.
That Van, you said about melanin.
Yes.
And that's interesting because today I was listening to a podcast from the UK, and these 2 brothers, one of them, he's written a book. It's called The Hidden Science of Melanin. And so I went on Amazon to see if it was there. He said it when it's there. So thank you for mentioning that, because yes, melanin is so much more than we've been told.
Yes.
So much more.
And it is consciousness that manages I'll use the word, how do we say this? The manifestation, how melanin manifests in the world. And so these beautiful beings, the peacocks and the octopus, they have this experience that we witness, but we don't understand it because we don't know the science behind it. But it has to do with melanin, okay? And how melanin is actually controlled by the mind, if I may use that term. How many people on this podcast know that an octopus has a brain in each one of its 8 legs? Mm-hmm. An octopus has a brain in each one of its 8 legs. Does that mean it has 9 brains? Well, some of us know that 9 is the most central sacred number that there is. And, if you just start contemplating, well, how is it that this creature does what it does? Some people don't like this being, the octopus. How does this being do what it does? It does this through something that's called supreme intelligence. It is no accident. The material scientists are always reducing the story to fit the needs of their agendas, which is to not tell us how reality works. And that's what material scientists are paid to do. Tell us stories that do not actually answer the question, how does this work? But this beautiful article, I'm going to send it to Tammy and Sylvia. Beautiful article about melanin and the peacock. Okay, so I'll stop there. But melanin is the greatest secret of what I will call pseudoscience, because pseudoscience does not want you to know anything about melanin and how it works. Yeah.
Wow. And
Okay.
before, hold
John,
on, Abuela. And God's gift for life. She said they will still send parents to jail if kids don't attend school in Florida. I didn't know that was still a law taking place. But wow, I wanted to acknowledge that. All right, go ahead, Miss Sylvia.
whenever they tell you in the public arena, this is just me. Whenever they tell me that something can't be done, I either converse with an attorney or do the research myself, because most of the time there's a loophole. But I'm
Okay.
gonna go on with the psychology of government. John Goddard Taylor was born December 15th, 1935. He died October 25th, 2018. He was famous for having been nominated the New York State Teacher of the Year in 1989, 1990, and 1991. Goddard later tendered his resignation, saying that he no longer wished to hurt kids to make a living.
Hey,
He
wow.
then began a public speaking and writing career and had received awards from the libertarian organizations, and he lists here all the organizations. His most famous book is entitled Dumbing Us Down. That's John Goddard Taylor. His retirement explanation brought attention. This is why he retired on purpose. His retirement explanation brought attention to the fact that public schools were harmful and was a form of programming, not education. In chapter 4 of David Icke's book, which includes a session entitled Psychology of Government, makes it more blatant that government is a brainwashing agent. The section of the book introduces, sorry, the section of the book introduces how wearing masks during the 2020 situation was another form of mind control. The Architects of Perception. That's the title he gave this part. Everything is about perception in this matrix. If you have access to money, you have a certain perception. If you don't, you have a different perception, and not your own perception to live the life you desire. What you believe, you perceive. What you perceive, think, focus on, you experience. Perceive and believe are interchangeable. Behavior and experience are always the outcome, no matter what. I'm going to read that one again. Behavior and experience are always the outcome, no matter what. Government and their agencies may appear to be making decisions and laws affecting the population, but at their core, David says, governments are telling the population what to believe and perceive. For this reason, governments are dominated by whole armies of behavioral psychologists. That was interesting. That most of the people that work in government and have these high positions, they are behavioral psychologists. All right, the next topic he speaks on is the COVID hoax. David Icke exposes this hoax in detail in his last two books. The first one, The Answer, and the other book, Perceptions of a Renegade Mind. Both of those two books. According to Icke, the hoax has been driven by psychologists. All the restrictions, manufactured divisions, isolation, and face napping masks affecting health. Did you want to say something, Tammy?
No, it cut you off, but I think it said you
Oh,
said
can you hear me?
We
we
can
can
hear
hear you,
you.
but
We
we
can
can't
see
see
you.
you.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you can't hear me,
Okay, go ahead.
because when you can't hear me, then I'll come off. I'll come back on. All
Okay.
right. Okay. According to Ike, mask wearing has all to do with rewriting perception into meek and unquestioning conformity through fear of spook virus or fear of not doing what the government tells you to do in alleged responses to a spook virus. Still hear me?
Yes.
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 Okay. David Icke has studied the techniques of mind control in both sides of the Atlantic since the 1990s. This including talking to a long list of people caught in horrific mind-altering government and military intelligence programs, such as the infamous MK Ultra in North America of the 1970s. The MK Ultra was an illegal human experimentation program designed and undertaken by the US Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, to develop procedures and identify drugs that could be used in altering human behavior. This is one reason why this is not David Icke there. I'm saying this. It's one reason why I don't go into the medical cult, because of MK Ultra. The program has been widely condemned as a violation of individual rights, an example of the CIA's abuse of power, with critics highlighting its disregard for consent and its corrosive impact on democratic principles. Just stop me whenever you all want to. Okay. Still
Anybody
hear
have
me?
anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Go
And
ahead.
then he has a section on mask wearing. Ike has listened to stories of enforced isolation, mind games, and masks that were used to, one, disorient, two, perceptionally manipulate, three, dehumanize. That's mask wearing, dehumanizes. Four, de-individualize. And five, deprive the brain of the oxygen it needs to develop and process information. Number five is very important. That mask keeps you from breathing oxygen. You're actually breathing in your own waste material.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
it's so interesting you say that because, like, I know people to this day that sit in the office all day with a mask on, and I really wonder the why. Go ahead. I see your hand up, Mr. Van Doren.
And it's okay that they sit in the office all day with a mask on. We are given free will,
Yes.
and their choices are determinants in their future. Okay. So our job is to stay focused on being empowered and making a difference in people's lives who want to have a difference made in their lives. You can talk to people like that until the end of time, and they may just ignore you. You might be wasting. You could be someplace else helping somebody that really needs a lift in consciousness. Leave those
Mm,
people where you find them,
mm.
and find your way to those who are in need. There are lots of people who are in need. They need what we can conveniently call a helping hand, which is a lift in spirit, if I may use that term.
Mm-hmm.
Let the beauty of your soul touch those who want to and need to be touched. Leave those who are choosing to remain hypnotized. Leave them where you find them. Okay, that's my advice. That's my suggestion. And I'm not pulling any punches because life is short. And if we can encourage someone to own their power, uh, let's do that. Let's not. And I'm not. I mean, trust your intuition. If your intuition says you need to go over and tap so and so on the shoulder and say, "Hey, where did you get the idea that that's actually healthy?" You know, I mean, you could approach it that way, right? And if they say, "Listen, get away from me," and if they're protecting their hypnosis, leave them alone. Okay, there are people who are ready and want to be tapped on their shoulder and have someone to say, "Wake up! It's your time to wake up." Okay, there are lots of people who are begging someone to walk up on them and say, "It's your time to wake up. It's your time to claim your power." Okay, there are people that are waiting for that message. So I would say deliver that message. Trust your intuition. If you have a big heart, and if that heart is shining, you will be led to the people who are looking for you. Okay, you get to be the messenger of love.
And
It's that simple.
I would just like to interject this. When people really become interested enough in waking up, if they would just look up the definition of government and look at those two words, govern and ment. Govern means to control, and ment is at the root of the word mental. So government means to control your mind. It's that simple.
Wow. And you know what, as you said that, you made me think of a video that Shelly sent Dr. Maya and myself over the weekend. Whereas I forgot what state it was in, but the guy was he had these barrels, these huge barrels collecting rainwater and snow water when it melts so that he can just reuse it on his land, reuse it for himself. And the man was fined by the government and put in jail because they said he was stealing from the government.
Natural
He
water.
was all because he's collecting rainwater, not to sell, distribute, but to use on his property that fell on his property. But they told him there are laws in place against that, and he's stealing from the government. So to that govern and mint, that they want to control everything. And I want to read this before you get back in. Actually, a soldier's dream put a fun fact. She said Kamala's mother took a job over MK Ultra in Canada and moved her and her sister there, which I had not even heard of MK Ultra into this. So I'm going to have to look more into that. And then she also she mentioned the book Chaos by Don Pipenbring. Pipe Penbring talks all about that. And then God's gift for life, Mr. Van Doren said that is correct. Allow people to go through their journey / process. If they seek truth, they will find it. No need to force your opinion on them or your awakeness on them. You all are absolutely right. I say all the time, if they don't get, maybe it's not for them in this lifetime, maybe it's in the next. I don't know. So no, I don't force anything on anybody. All right. Anybody want to comment before Miss Sylvia take it back over? All right, take over, Queen.
I just want to reiterate, this is not me talking. This is David Icke. Okay? This is information is from the book, The Trap. What it is, how it works, and how we escape its illusions. Okay? Endless scientific papers have shown that holes in masks are much bigger than what they call viral particles. Scientists have also pointed out that masks are the equivalent of trying to stop mosquitoes with a chain link fence. Surgeons wear masks to stop blogs of saliva from falling into open wounds and not to stop microparticles or a virus that has never been shown to exist. David Icke has been pointing this out since the summer of 2020 that masks are useless to stop viral particles, even if you believe in them purely on the basis that holes in masks are significantly bigger than viral particles.
Yeah, I heard that during the pandemic. I did hear that.
In, in 2021, the CDC finally admitted that cloth masks were useless.
Mm-hmm.
This admission came after the most terrible damage had already been done to health and psychology of adults and children. Diminished intake of oxygen increased the carbon dioxide which the body is trying to expel. The
Mm.
fibers in the mask breathed into the lungs, including cancer causing titanium dioxide. There was dehumanization by blocking facial expression and, and devastating effects on babies that get perceptional, can you still hear me?
Yes.
That get perceptional clues from the faces of their parents and others. One speech therapist reported a 64% increase in referrals for speech problems. Among very young children with autism symptoms, there was also a percentage there was there was also a percentage skyrocket. Masks throughout history have been used as symbols of submission and to silence literally and psychologically, and are used today for the same reason. According to Icke, wearing masks are only one example of a tidal wave of attacks on the psyche to dictate perception and behavior. And because of this kind of information that he disseminates, I believe that's why he's been banned from speaking in 27 countries.
Mm.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
that's, yeah, he's been banned from speaking in 27 countries. But thank God there are people that allow him on their YouTube platforms and other platforms to continue to speak. And now he has his own platform and he has his own YouTube platform. I guess they had to let him back in. It must have been some kind of legal way he got back in.
Mm. You
But this
muted.
is
Hold on, Miss P. Hold on, Miss P trying to talk. Let me unmute her.
Mine
Go
went
ahead,
out. I
Miss P.
think you might have accidentally touched it.
Go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, it was a legal thing. And I know that because um, Rissa Islam was involved in the same thing as David Icke with YouTube. And the way he got back on is that Rissa and the 12 other people that the government had put on this list called the Misinformation 12 were
Oh.
on. They sued the government over this whole thing about COVID. And so they had to let people back onto that platform for that reason. They let Rissa back on for that. And so I think they let Rissa back on because they were afraid he was going to sue YouTube.
Hmm.
Wow. They go through the extremes to keep us from getting the truth. That
Mhm.
they there's no never ending to that. Um wow. Anything else, Abuela?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Anybody have any comments, any feedback about any of the information? Oh, I know I wanted to go back, Mr. Van Dorn, when you were talking about the beings. I've heard like the when you were talking about the UFOs and how the people they couldn't talk about it or whatever. I have heard that like at probably by the end of 2027 it won't be a secret no more. However way they're being held, the information is being withheld from the people. At some point, they're going to be their presence is going to be made known. What is going
Yeah,
on with this? Everybody's recording on a different track tonight. Mr. Van Dorn, go ahead. Were you getting ready to say something?
well, there are lots of stories about disclosure. And what I want to say is that there's a movie that was just put out called Disclosure Day by Steven Spielberg. And the essence of that film is that uh, the manipulators of the storyline have basically been operating uh, as secret agents of a secret society, and the truth has been withheld for decades. The greater truth is that the truth has been withheld for centuries. But um, if you, depending upon what sources you go to, you'll see information that's in images that have been created centuries ago that show flying vehicles in the sky. Okay, so we could talk about ancient India. We could talk about stories regarding the use of atomics in the past. But the short of it is that uh, Disclosure Day is a way to paint a picture for the masses about what's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's a wonderful film for the purpose of helping to acclimate people who have been brainwashed into believing something that isn't true. It's a way to help acclimate the masses to look at this film as a way of saying, wow, so this is what they've been doing to us as unconscious humans, as the unconscious collective, if I may. Yeah.
But you know what? Even to that point, Mr. Van Dorn, here's what I have a theory. My thing is, I think they have done such a banged up job, in fact, a hell of a job, that even when you start showing people the truth, they don't want to receive it. And
Yeah,
of
that's
course, you
because,
don't force it. It goes back to what you said earlier, right? You don't force it on people, but it's just like let's use religion. You tell people that have been brought up in religion, if you try to tell them anything other than Jesus is Lord of your life, they're gonna think you're guilty of heresy, you a heathen, you going to hell. They're gonna tell you're gonna get all kind of backlash.
yeah,
Whereas going back to what you said, the kingdom of heaven and God is within you, and you try to waken them to the truth when the scripture says you shall know the truth and it shall make you free. But they have been so programmed, so conditioned to believe that they don't want to accept that truth now.
yeah. Well,
But they have a Christian definition of truth. So that's why, they have a different vocabulary, a different language.
And see, that's what will keep them from receiving information that will really help them to really help them step into
Well,
their divinity. Shelly,
well,
you
I'm a
came off
living
mute.
witness that they can overcome.
I
I'm
was
a
gonna
living
say,
witness that they will overcome.
it's cognitive dissonance. They just once your body believes something for so long, anytime you get new information, your brain automatically rejects it because it doesn't want to go against what it grew up to believe. So I don't think a lot of people can't help themselves.
Mm. But that's what's hurting them though. That's the problem. They can't help themselves, but if you stay closed-minded, remember, God is bigger than the box that he's been put in.
He,
But go ahead.
the
well, I
reason that
gotta say this:
yeah,
the God is love.
Yes.
And love has no gender. There's no he.
Oh,
There's no gender.
that just
Yeah.
goes back to how she was trained when she grew up. That's what she heard. God was a he.
Yeah, but I'm
It just
just making
comes
the
natural.
correction. I'm just making the correction
Yeah. And you have to
that
reprogram yourself
there
because
there
I
is
was, yeah.
there is no gender.
hmm You will reprogram yourself at some point in time. I had to do it too because I grew up in that. I did more than grow up in it, but you have to reprogram yourself.
You're on
Yeah.
mute, Shelley.
You know, shut us out talking to somebody.
Yeah, I'm doing three things at once. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. A soldier's dream put Project Bluebeam is getting ready to a god is getting ready to a god in the sky for the so-called rapture. Getting ready to prepare for the god in the sky in the so-called rapture. And that's it. And you still have people waiting for that god in the sky to show up. And
That rapture
yeah.
been going on since the beginning of time.
Yeah, and it's gonna continue to go
Mm-hmm.
on. It's,
Mm-hmm.
but then when they hear the wars and the rumors of wars, they like, oh yeah, no, God is coming. Yeah, well, God is already here because He's in each and every
Mm-hmm.
one of us.
Mm-hmm.
A people, she got source.
How can you control the
He's a
people if they
source.
don't have nothing to be afraid of? It's a control mechanism. If people aren't in fear of anything happening to them, then no one will listen to no one but themselves. So they
But
have to
then
have
let me
a higher power to look at for discipline.
This is true, but let me ask this question. How is that working? Okay, real quick, let's talk about it. There's the fear of hell. They have the fear of if you die, you going to heaven or hell. How is the fear of hell even helping to create a better society? People, if people feel they're gonna die and go to hell for killing, stealing, robbing, doing all this wrong stuff, the evidence is not showing where that has done a good job at making this society a better place to be in. So
So
how is it
so
working for them?
it is working beautifully. That's a choice that they're making from the soul level. Okay, so if you get into the psychology of the soul, which is eternal, we understand that everything is in divine order. That's why we don't need to take issue with people who are sitting around with masks on, et cetera, et cetera. That's their business. If you mind your own business, which could be shining some light on somebody's path that's looking for some love, you know, if you make that your business, you might be doing good work in the world. If you're pushing against a door that's closed with a lock on it, what are you doing? We can say that you're not going to get in, right? Once again, go looking for the hungry souls who are looking for liberation. They're looking for somebody to say, you are love. You
Mm-hmm.
are eternal. You are soul. You are eternal. Love now because that's where it's at. Okay. And we can throw these interesting cliches around like God is love. Okay, fine. So God is love. Be that. Okay. Be love. So you're being God. You're doing God's work. Okay. So that's the message that you can place before the those who are actually ready to step off of the plantation. But those who want to stay on the plantation, like Harriet
Mm-hmm.
Tubman said, you're going with me. Well, that only worked for a handful of people who were on the plantation. You know, you know the old saying, I freed a thousand slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if they had only known that they were slaves. Might sound crass. Leave the hypnotized where you find them and shine the beautiful light that 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 you are an embodiment of, light being equivalent to consciousness, being equivalent to God. Let your God self shine. Once again, we go back to that beautiful spiritual. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Do that. You know, that's all you have to do. You don't have to try to convince anybody of anything, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And
And you know,
Van, that comes out of our programming too,
Exactly.
trying to
Yes.
convince people.
Precisely. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the programming.
Mhm.
Convincing is only exhausting you.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
don't try to convince
somebody
anybody
something that
anything,
don't
so
want to
go ahead.
know.
And
Yeah.
you know, everything isn't for everybody. Like
Mhm.
everyone's not meant to be there. Like
Mhm.
how people be like queen and king. Everyone's not a queen. Everyone's not a king.
That's
Everyone's not a boss. Everyone's not a worker. So
Right.
yeah, we can't make everybody. We don't want everybody. That's the first thing we gotta understand.
And then the second thing, everybody have their place and their time in their life.
Thank you. Yeah. And that's what eternity does. It gives us an opportunity to figure it out somewhere on what we conveniently call the timeline. Right.
Mhm.
So if it isn't in this incarnation, it could be the next one. It doesn't really matter. You know.
Right.
You know what's the hurry? We have an eternity to figure it out. Each one of us, his soul has an eternity to figure it out, and so that's not told in some of the religious concepts, because that would be too much like telling the truth, right? Or letting somebody know you can't be controlled. Yeah.
Well, a bombshell, a bombshell. Jesus came in multiple lives to get his ascension, to complete his spiritual journey. I know it's been shared, he came and he got it right in this one life, but Yeshua came multiple lives. But that's a story for another day, because I know everybody is not ready for that one. But I do want to acknowledge this, and we'll go ahead and start bringing it in. God's girl for life. We cannot live double-minded to reach our true freedom, and yes, serve those who are welcome to discovering the truth. And she agreed with you on something you said, Miss P. And she says, yes, life is a classroom. You can learn or you can repeat the lesson. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So this, wow, this, I, one thing I know, who was supposed to get this will get it. And that's what that I have pure confidence in that. A talk like this isn't for everybody, because just like Shelley, what you said, that cognitive, what term did you use? Dissonance. So when you introduce new information that totally contradicts people's belief systems, they're not ready for it. But one thing, I am also a firm believer in planting and watering. So seeds are being planted now that may take root years from now, and that's okay. Everyone is on a different path, different journey. So very good stuff. So let us go ahead, before I start bringing it in. Anybody else wanted to comment on what has been said thus far? All right. Well, I'll go ahead and start reeling this baby on in. So, I will go round robin looking at my screen. So I'm going to start with you, Mr. Van Dorn. Um, any final words for the people? Anything that you want to leave with us tonight, and also let the people know how they can get in contact with you?
All right. Very simply put, you are the power. How do you find that to be true? Spending time in silence and stillness. Silence and stillness, that's where you actually discover that you are the power. And there's no looking outside of oneself for freedom, because freedom comes from within. It's spending time in the stillness and the silence. Thank you. Oh, how to reach me? VanDornHennett@gmail.com. If somebody wants to reach me, VanDornHennett, HINNANT @gmail.com.
Yes, and he's also on Instagram too.
Yeah.
So you guys can catch him on Instagram as well. So thank you, Mr. Van Dorn. Appreciate you as always. And Shelly. Now, since you came in late, if you got multiple gems, go ahead and drop them. Go ahead and give it to us.
I got so many, but I don't want to start. So I'm just leave it simple and say, like I always say, study and find out for yourself. The information is there. It's crazy that when we had little information, we were the smartest people. Now that we have unlimited information, I don't want to use the word dummies, but we're not reaching our full potential. So find out for yourself. It's okay. Read a little bit, learn a little bit, and all that stuff. And outside of that, just everything I say, real estate. So reach me at Shelly Jason.
Pooch Pastries.
Yeah, and Pooch Pastries, poochpastries.com. All dogs. Yeah, that's it.
But look, since she's here, Miss Sylvia is always saying reading is free.
Mm-hmm.
Read, study, learn, critical thinking. If they are trying to dummy us down, this is where you have to question the narrative, challenge it, challenge the belief systems. You have to get to a point that you don't have to go with everything that they give you just because people said it. Don't
Right.
make it true. And
Mm-hmm.
that's becomes the problem. People like to go along to get along. Sometimes it's okay to go against the grain. Choose your path that's unique for who you are. That's one of the things, what they say, variety is the spice of life. That's why we're all different for that reason. But start studying, start researching, stop letting social media be your guide. Whereas people give you a lot of fake information there. Let me mute my thing. Go ahead, Maya, because I hear the sirens in the background.
I'm gonna go with you guys. Study to show your own self-approval. Um, Take time to meditate. The power is within yourself. Um, don't believe everything you hear. And then I go with don't believe everything you Google either. Anybody can put anything on Google. So I think just study and research for yourself. So you can reach
And how
me at
can they?
drmayaharrell@gmail.com.
Nice. And the soldier's dream just put the program has been working for generations. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And also, too, what we have not been taught, what we had not been taught, because what has been said repeatedly through this conversation is to sit in silence. And I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
add go out in nature, because listen, that every answer you need for your journey is within you. It is
I agree.
within you. It is
And I'll
inside of
say
you.
put the phones down. Social media, you could take an hour that you spend on social media to read, to sit in
Absolutely.
silence, to meditate, to learn yourself. Just get knowledge with yourself. The program that they're using now is more powerful than anything now. So yeah, take a break.
Absolutely. Because then you keep
Mhm.
complaining about, this going on and that going on and the bills of this or that, but you're not spending time with self. Whereas you
Mhm.
can rise above that. Again, I said earlier, we create from the present moment. So that's
Mhm.
why it's so important to be in tune with you, connected to you.
Mhm.
Keep your chakras open. Mr. Van Dorn mentioned the pineal gland, and Mr. Van Dorn, your camera is off. So if you do a hand raise, I wouldn't even see it. So if anything comes up and you want to chime in, jump in, because your for some reason your camera went out. But if you keeping your glands, your chakras closed, there's information infinite intelligence is trying to get to you. So spend time, know thyself. That's to know God. Miss P, so happy to have you with us. What you got for us?
Just what everybody else has said. The most important thing is to go within. Don't be afraid to be with yourself.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid of what you might hear. Go in the silence and overcome the fear of who you are, of the power that you have within yourself.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
all this talk that's going on about inflation and all the hard times, honestly, that does not have to be your reality.
Mhm.
Everything that you need, you already have.
That's right.
Mm,
It's already inside of you.
mm. That just touched my
Mhm.
soul, Miss P, because you are absolutely right. In fact, my reality. So I got some other. So I'm like, what inflation? Oh, that's just life. Whatever. I'm good. So this is where you know this. There's a mantra that I used to I quote still, and when I was doing my inspirational segment, which I'm getting ready to start back going live to inspire you guys in the mornings, one day a week. I'll let you guys know when I do that. But everything works out for me. All things work out for me. Things are always working out for me. That's a mantra that I picked up from Abraham Hicks. Anybody know Esther Hicks, who channels Abraham? That mantra is true, and it's taken from the script. Think about the scripture, Romans 8:28. All things work together for our good. Everything works out for us. You just got to walk in that knowing. That should be a lifetime knowing that no matter what happens, the good, the bad, and the ugly, it's going to always work out for you. And when
Mhm.
you have that faith, that belief system, you're going to be good. So it don't matter what they do with the inflation, the deflation, the whatever, you're going to be okay. Miss Sylvia, final words, Queen.
Yeah, this book by David Icke has some very interesting information, and he's written a lot of other books that are esoteric in nature. Um, and if you want to hear more about him, or he has a network is ickonic.com, iconic.com, ickonic.com. And in this particular book, he has a lot of quotes from different people. And in chapter 3, uh, titled A Kind of Magic, this was a quote by Thomas Carlyle: permanence, perseverance, and persistence in spite of all obstacles, disencouragements, and impossibilities. It is this that in all things distinguishes the strong soul from the weak.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I'll definitely get the book information when I go back and listen to the recording. So, all right, this is good stuff. So, we are going to go ahead and bring this in. And so, for those who don't know me, first of all, always grateful for you guys. But I'm Tammi B. I am a transformational speaker. I am a coach and a spiritual mentor. You can obtain more information about me at www.tammib.com. That's Tammi with an I. I am also an author who uses my life story to help you with yours. Again, you can find more information on the website. Remember the Pause, Breathe, Bro, You Matter, taking place a month from today, August 1st. Remember, virtually, men and women can attend, but in person, men only. Go to Eventbrite and put in that information: Pause, Breathe, Bro, You Matter conference for ticket information. And if you want to sponsor or be a vendor, feel free to reach out to me at thassawoman@gmail.com. And so, as always, with much love and gratitude, I thank you guys. I thank Queen Sylvia, Queen Penelope, Dr. Maya, Shelly, Mr. Van Dorn. I'm so grateful for you guys. This was a very powerful discussion. I know we open up some minds. Now, whether or not they agree right now, that's okay. We planted the seed. So thank you so much for this conversation. Thank you, Miss Ramona. Very good program. We appreciate that feedback. Thank you so much. So to my viewers, again, if you are not part of our community, I do invite you to join us by subscribing, because we are here weekly at 7:30 p.m. Eastern with new content. And so for the free 99, yes, for the free 99, I ask, please support us by clicking the like button, by giving us a thumbs up, and or sharing this with someone else that you know needs to hear it. And peace and love to you as well, Miss Ramona. Thank you so much. Listen, next week we have a couples therapist joining us. So this will be a time for you to grab your boo and come back and be part of the conversation next week. So I'm sure she has some very good tips for us next week. So, all right. So listen, in closing, I leave you all with this. Impossible is just a big word thrown around by small men who find it easier to live in the world they've been given rather than to explore the power that they have to change it. That came from Muhammad Ali, the late great Muhammad Ali. And words to go with that: Impossible is often nothing more than a limitation accepted by those who are afraid to challenge the status quo. The people who change the world are the ones who dare to believe that what seems impossible today can become a reality tomorrow. Don't let someone else's limits become your ceiling. You were created with power to grow, create, overcome, and transform. Every breakthrough in history began with someone who refused to believe that impossible was the final answer. As always, stay amazing. Peace, love, and blessings. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.